My name is Ken Kano. I'm an application engineer with the PPI Group. Today we're looking at Autodesk Navisworks 2009. Navisworks is a software that allows design and construction management professionals to enjoy the control and peace of mind that results from advanced visualization, simulation, and analysis offered by 3D models or virtual buildings. Design data created in Building Information Modeling or BIM applications, such as the Revit family of products and AutoCAD applications, can be opened and combined with geometry and information from other, often competing, design tools and reviewed as a single whole project regardless of file size or format. Some of the business challenges that we have in the industry right now, as you see here in the list, BIM, Building Information Modeling, typically equals large data files, especially if you start combining the MEP structure and architecture files together in one file. The other problem we have with that is sometimes it's multiple formats. Not everybody works in Autodesk products. Some are MicroStation, some are Bentley, some are some other softwares out on the market. We also have a time-consuming effort coordinating analysis with the documentation. We also have limited manual coordination within a project team, so there's not a lot of time being spent coordinating all these things together before it starts to be built. Developing multiple models for a single project is also rather time consuming and oftentimes not even created as a model, so we don't know what's happening with our buildings before they're done. What we have now is an integrated project delivery system with BIM and Navisworks. We use the information in an integrated environment, which increases our efficiency and enables new ways of working that inspires more creative and sustainable designs. So we can work on a project at any time in the project. We can create Navisworks models. Some of the features of Navisworks is a real 3D engine, real 3D real-time engine. So we're working as we're moving around the model in real time. We have a file format compatibility, which is beyond what other BIM programs can sustain. Review file output is capable, and it's easy for all to use in Navisworks, which is really satisfying a need in the marketplace right now for an easy-to-use viewing tool of multiple softwares. Navisworks has been around for a while now. It formerly was called Jetstream over in the Europe and the UK. Autodesk purchased Navisworks and took the 6 modules that made up Jetstream. It was module based, and they put it into one package called Manage. Manage allows you to view multiple file formats, publish, present, timeline, and use clash detection. A lower level of those that don't need that much power, we have Simulate, which includes Roamer and Timeliner. And then finally, for those even further down the chain that really only need to look around at 3D models, we've got Navisworks Review, which just has the ability to move around in Navisworks. Navisworks 2009, they worked on a couple of specific feature focuses. First, we had the user experience and compatibility. So Autodesk took the interface that Navisworks Jetstream had in the past and kind of modernized it a little bit, kind of following a AutoCAD workflow, simplifying the interface, allowing us to now be a little bit similar to the more Autodesk-based products or Revit-based products. We also focused on extend design data and enhanced realities. Here's a list of a few file formats more commonly used in the design industry. You see Navisworks and AutoCAD, MicroStation, a few others listed there. Those are the more common file formats that can be brought into Navisworks and read natively. There's actually a whole another list that's going to pop up in just a second that has more software titles. There's currently over 40 software applications that Autodesk Navisworks can read. And there you see a couple project scheduling, RAM, number of different formats out there. For those on 64-bit systems, we have 64-bit compatibility in the software. Another feature focus was being able to put in 3D text. So if you have text from AutoCAD applications or MicroStation, that can be viewed inside of Navisworks. Also focused on enhanced reality, being able to soft detect or check for clashing on a site. Workspace planning, as you see here, we've got a crane making sure we've got the room. Timeliners, a process planning, it actually adds the 4D capability to Navisworks. By scheduling with Microsoft Project or Primavera, we can actually bring that data in and schedule it with objects in our model. Presenter allows us to animate objects. We are bringing in real 3D objects into Navisworks, and here we can create AVI movies and animate specific objects that we want to view. Again, another portion of animation, being able to have things react when we're walking through a building. We can interact with the objects on the screen. As we move closer, the doors open. As we move away from the doors and we turn around, the doors shut as we move through. So it adds that extra realism to our models. Autodesk also has Navisworks Freedom. Freedom's a free Navisworks and 3D DWF review that allows us to play back animations and view specific pieces of the model from Navisworks. This is a free viewer. You can download it right from Autodesk.com. Now we're going to take a look at Navisworks in more of a live setting. Here I'm going to start by opening up a couple of files. We're going to start by opening up the Metalgate project. And the Metalgate project is pretty much made up of a number of different pieces of the building. We have a structure that is done in MicroStation. We have the site plan, which is done in a 3D DWF and 3D Studio Max. We have the architecture done in AutoCAD, and we've got the furniture inside done in Max as well. So a number of different file formats are being used here in the drawing. And we have some really simple navigation tools right up here at the top for moving and navigating around these 3D models. Here I'm using an orbit tool to spin around the model. So any direction that I push or pull moves the model around, allow me to view my model 360 degrees. There's other tools for zooming, so I can create little zoom windows or use a real-time forward and backwards approach, zoom in and out of my models. Now I'm using a panning tool, so I can pan around the model at the same time. Again, showing how easy it is to go above or below a 3D model inside of Autodesk Viewpoints also give me the option of saving different spots when I find a certain piece of the model I want to view again. I'm going to pin this open and create a very simple animation. I'm going to start by setting up just saving snapshots or saving views of the drawing. Here I'm saving a shot of the end of the sidewalk near my project. I'm going to give this a name, and then I'm going to use the zoom tools and zoom in where I want to finish my model. So I'm going to end up pretty close into my building. Navisworks will allow me to interpolate now, based on these two snapshots, how the camera is going to get from point A to point B. I don't have to do all the math. I don't have to move the camera myself. Navisworks does that work for me. So I've got a couple of others, as you can see here, saved. Here's a couple of office views. Here's a lobby view, a couple of exterior views. These are all just single set shots. But I can take any number of set shots and make an animation. So here I'm just going to right mouse click, and I'm going to drag and drop these two views, or these two snapshots or pictures, if you will, into this animation. So I've got animation. I'm going to go ahead and rename this walking along the sidewalk, and I'm going to drag these two views in, and then using the controls at the top of the screen, I'm going to simply just hit the play button. Although I should first check, before I hit the play button, I should first check to see how long my animation is going to be. In this case, I'll go ahead and let it play. And that's going a bit slow. Don't want to bore people when we're creating these animations, so I'm going to go in and just adjust this. So I'm going to right click on the animation. I'm going to click on edit. And yep, I've got about a 34-second video. I'm going to drop this down to about 15 seconds and then hit play. So now I'm moving a little bit quicker, a little faster, probably a little more realistic if I was walking along this path. And I've got my finished animation. Now, we also can create animations on the fly. So if I wanted to create a different animation, I can start with a different camera view angle, whichever the angle may be. We'll go from the reception booth here, and I'm just going to hit the record button at the top of the screen. The record button then allows me to use some simple animation walkthrough tools on the right side of my screen. I'm going to turn on the walk button, and then I'm going to turn on gravity. Gravity will allow me to simply move to the ground and move around my model. Now as I'm moving through, I'm just pushing the mouse forward or backwards to slow it down. The faster I push forward, as you saw there by the reception desk, the faster I will move. Here I'm going to pause just a moment and cut through the office and end up out by the main office area of this building. Again, just kind of pushing my mouse forward to get the location where I want. When I'm done, I hit finish. My viewpoint palette will allow me then to see that animation. Again, right click, and I'm going to edit my animation. Slow that down a little bit. Yeah, I got 45, almost 45 seconds, so we're going to change it to 20. And we'll hit play again. And you can see it actually drop down a little quicker. still moving a little bit quicker. We might want to lengthen that or cut that up into different pieces as we're animating the building and jockeying around. Because again, the point isn't to the point is to show off the modeling capabilities inside of here. Now I'm going to take that animation I just created manually, and I'm going to go ahead and add this again, change it to 30 seconds, try to find that nice, slow, meandering type path. I'm going to take that animation and drop it inside of the other animation that I just created. So I have the outside of the building, and then I've created one inside moving up to the first floor from the ground floor. And I'll go ahead and play this animation. So here you can see the animation that was created with just image files, just a couple of image snapshots or pictures. Once it gets into my building, or near the building, then it's going to switch over, and you can actually see the viewpoints on the side of where frame we're on and where we're at. Now it's cutting through the building, running into the reception area, and now it's going through all of the scenes that it needs to go up the stairs, pausing inside of the building. There's also tools in here called collision, which allow you to bump into things but not run through them. So with the reception desk, we did not run through the reception desk. We actually bounced right off of the reception desk. So there's tools like that as well, or you can turn them off and allow yourselves to go in. Now I'm going to just use the navigation tools to zoom into the mechanical room at the top of the building. One of the things that you can use Navisworks for is in the collaboration. So I may not have done the mechanical work. I may have been the architect, or I may be the construction person with the construction firm. I'm going to grab some items in here, and I'm just going to right-click and hide these things so I can look through my building. So now I've turned them off, I can see inside of my mechanical room. And again, I'm going to adjust this to get the best view possible of the inner workings of the mechanical system on this roof. And I'm going to open up a palette called Redline. And Redline allows me to add notes, add color, add line work, add various pieces to my model, and save these and collaborate with others on the project team. Here I'm going to draw with just some of these simple tools. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to draw a circle around the object that I want to reference for my MEP guys. And then I'm going to save this snapshot, and then I can quickly save it out as a JPEG image, send it off to the MEP guys with the corrections or the items I want to clarify. So here I'm drawing a circle around a pump. I'm going to draw a couple lines, kind of pointing to it, and then I'll put in a piece of text. And just to reference them, having them check the pump size, see if that's going to work for the building. And with that in there, that stays with that view now. Anytime I come back to the view, that's there. Or I can go ahead and take this and export it out as an image file and save it for the MEP guys. The MEP guys can look at it, give me a call back, say, yep, that works via the specifications that we have. So, very easy to collaborate with others with Navisworks, view models, view objects in the building or around the building, and just generally move or navigate inside of the building. There's also tools in here for selecting certain items. Here you can see all of the files that make up this particular model. We've got the building as a DWG, furniture DWGs. There's a site plan that's a Navisworks file, visualization objects 3D Studio Max. All of these things making up this building from various vendors and clients. By them giving us a 3D model, we can then go through and select certain items. Here I'm selecting all the ductwork on the first floor plan, and I'm going to create a selection. I'm going to create a selection set of just the ductwork on the first floor. I'll go ahead and delete the old one. And I'm going to do the same thing for the pipes. So I'm going to delete the existing one that I had saved in here. And I'm going to go to the pipework drawing and select just the pipes in the drawing. Back to selection sets. And now I can use these selection sets later down the line for other things in the drawing. And in this case, what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to use this for clash detection. Here's a different way to also search for items. If you don't want to use the selection tree, there is a find items palette that pops up from the bottom that allows me to go through and pick different categories and pick different items to select. Here I'm looking at all the items in the drawing with a specific name, and in this case I'm selecting all the windows. Anything that says window is going to be selected, and you can see those in blue in the model. So again, it's a 3D real-time engine. As I pick something or I select something, I can change that. Here I'm changing the opacity of all the windows. Or I can go through and change the color of something in the drawing. So all the windows could be grayed or transparent or see-through. So number of ways that we can pick items. In this case, I've just set up a filter to select all the windows. So I don't have to pick every individual window set. I can pick multiples. So again, I've got pipe and I've got the ducts pre-set up. Now we're going to use the clash detective. Clash detective allows me to pick two items and see if they clash with each other. We can either pick a clash that is what they call a hard clash, meaning two things that connect or touch or run into each other. Or we can do things like soft clashing, like checking for clearances. A pipe may need a certain clearance to be able to access that. So we can go through and make sure that certain pipes or certain structure elements or pretty much anything in our models will touch or make sure that they have the clearance they need for the building. Again, this is important because we're doing this before the ground's broken yet. We're finishing this, we're checking this out ahead of time. Now I've got the select tab selected in Clash Detective. So we're going to go through and pick the first floor ducts on the right side, or the left side, excuse me, and the pipes on the right. Again, being able to check for clearances, hard, or if I want a clearance, a soft detection. In this case, we want a hard detection. So we're going to go through hard detection, and we should see at the bottom of this list how many it's found when I hit start. So here in my model, it found 22 issues with this particular drawing. I can go to the Results tab and actually view these. So I can go throughout my building. I've got 22 of these I can go through and see where it's colliding. In most cases, it's the pipes connecting or touching the ductwork. Here I'm going to isolate this so we can see it a little better. I have a pipe running right through a piece of duct. Again, some other views with the hidden or hiding other objects. Once I've got the results, I also have the option to make it active or approved or resolved if we want to resolve it. I'm going to actually create a report right out of Navisworks. So in my report, I can typically tell it which items I want it to contain. Do I want to see a summary where it's located? Do I want an image with that item? I can also include other collisions. Do I want to see all the new collisions, the active? The various report types that we can create. We can create an XML, HTML, text, or we can just create it as viewports in the model and send the model to somebody. I'll create an HTML, and I'm going to create a folder for this, so it's a little bit easy. I'm going to have 22 pictures along with an HTML file, so I kind of want to make that show up. Probably wouldn't want to put that on a desktop or in some blank folder because it'd be a little tough to find it. So in a matter of seconds now, I've just created an HTML document that has documentation for all 22 clashes, as well as where they're located. And I could go out if I would like and open up that HTML file. Presenter's another popular feature in Navisworks. Most of the time when we get 3D models, we don't necessarily have materials placed on there. Navisworks has a number of material types that we can put right into our file. So if we wanted to give it a little realism, create an animation or a rendering with the materials, we can place those in here. Here I'm looking at the material list available, and I'm going to go down and just find some various texture types. Here I've got some materials, marble, minerals, pebbles, different material types for rocks and minerals. Again, material components, metals, crystals and glass, designs and patterns, whatever we want to set up. All of these are drag and drop capable. So notice that I've just placed a checker pattern, a black and white checkerboard pattern onto the wall object. And as it is a 3D model, the whole wall is one object, so it's selected the whole wall. I'll go back in and readjust that. I did it quite big. We'll put in a smaller pattern. Probably not quite enough. And again, we'll go through. I can pick from patterns that already exist in the drawing, as this was already created for us. Or I can go through and just add in my own types. So we're going to go into the walls, brick, and we're just going to put in a brick material on our walls. So now we've got a brick material with mortar and all of the information that make it look a little realistic. You'll notice in Presenter also we do have lights we can add. RPC if you want to add real people or cars. Different effects, different background effects. Right now we've got a background that's white. It's kind of a fade from blue to white, a gradient. But we can add number. They've got a number of them pre-available. Here's a tree with field, hills, here a hill terrain. We're going to go ahead and bring this in. We can go in and create renderings. I'm going to create a quick rendering of this model. So again, most of these kind of tools that I'm using right now, you can add them through Revit or AutoCAD Architecture, or most people take it to 3D Studio Max and do all the materials and renderings and all of those fun things inside of a rendering tool. Here we're doing it in the same tool that we're viewing and modeling and checking our designs. And it should just be about done, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this. So here we've got a pretty nice looking rendering. Now I'm going to switch over and open up a different file. This is a gatehouse. I've got a little gatehouse I'm building, and we're going to look at the timeliner feature. Again, I can navigate around the tool or our models and see all the pieces of the model. But what we really want to do is, I have a project, Microsoft project, set up for basically the sequence of construction for this little gatehouse. As you see here, I don't have any tasks currently listed. I don't know what the sequence of construction is going to be yet. With the Links tab, I can go ahead and add a link. And I've got the option of Microsoft Project or Primavera Project. Here's my Microsoft Project with all the tasks and everything outlined in Microsoft Project. I'm going to bring that in and just add a field selector for when I'm going to start. Then I'm going to right-click on that particular link, and I'm going to tell it to build a task hierarchy from that link. So I'm going to use all the work I did in Microsoft Project to populate the tasks that need to be done in Navisworks. Here I can see all of the items that are set up for me, what time they're going to start, what time they're supposed to end. I'm going to go through and attach all the objects in Navisworks, all the 3D objects in Navisworks with my project now. We can even control what color things are. So as I build this, or as the model builds, you're going to see things coming in as a light green, meaning that they're in process. When they're done, they'll be a solid object. So I'm mapping basically the layer names with the layer setup from Microsoft Project. As I scroll this across, I can see that I have items attached. We could physically go out and pick certain items and attach it to certain tasks. That is also an option as well. So very easily, I went out and just did a quick check here to make sure that all of the items in Navisworks match with something in projects. So nothing's left out in this construction process. The next thing I'm going to do is select all of the tasks in the list and give it a task type. Note we have construction, demolish, and temporary. So we could, at one time we're showing all the new construction, we can be showing things that are being destructed as well, and they'll be removed from our list if need be. Now I'm going to go ahead and simulate, and very similar to my animation that we created earlier, I've got a timeliner at the very top showing me what time and day, how many days or weeks I've been working on this. I'm just going to hit play. Now you can see the process going on in this particular model, when things are going to be built, and by watching this you can see if something's going to be out of sync. So if we had mechanical or electrical, some of those items probably wouldn't be built before ceilings are installed or roofs are installed. And you may have seen it right in this model itself. There was an out-of-place sequence where the rail or the molding there across the middle was being built before the wall was done. So we do have an out-of-place sequence in this particular model. Something easily to fix just by a drag and drop scenario moving around. So we are going to have more webcasts in the future on Navisworks. This is the beginning. For pricing information, please talk to your local account managers in Seattle or Portland. We're going to have more webcasts again available. This will be online, ppigroup.com. And we are going to focus on specific features in upcoming webcasts like timeliner, presenter, and animation and scripting. So thank you for downloading and watching this, and let us know if you have any questions or comments.